Wait, you get a free S rank engine and S rank character, and 30 pulls, and an outfit. Bro, that's fucking insane. A free weapon and a free 5-star. These might be the best rewards of any anniversary in Gacha gaming.
Zenless Zone Zero's anniversary has had a couple of mixed reactions, a few mixed reactions. Some say it's the greatest anniversary rewards of all time for a mainstream gacha game. For a game that is part of the Big Four, it is some of the best rewards we've ever seen. Some are saying that the rewards are mid. Let's talk about it. First things first, I have no allegiance to any of these gacha games. I am nor a shield nor a bot. Wuthering Waves is my favorite gacha game at the moment, but I will 100% keep this fair and unbiased and keep it a buck. That is the entire goal. I just want to clear up a couple of misconceptions. Let's just go over this and then I'll chime in when I need to.
About it being like a version update patch.
Sure.
So when it comes to ZZZ and its anniversary rewards, I don't think that at a baseline, they're bad. I think that they're fine. I just don't personally think that they're like the most crazy ones ever that like blows every other game out of the water. From the perspective,
I will say, even if Zenless were to give out 100 pulls, there would still, the narrative would shift from, okay, your rewards aren't that great, stop glazing them. It would shift from that to, you have to do that because your game is dying. Let that sink in.
of like at a baseline, it's going to be 33 limited pulls, which is, in my opinion, it's not like a little bit, but it's also not like a crazy amount.
And I was looking at my other thumbnail. Wuwa gave out 37 before the community bitched and got 10 10 10 from each banner. So keep that in mind as well.
Especially when you consider
it's literally around the same amount.
How ZZZ's banner system works at 90 pity and then 75-25 on the weapon banner. Combining.
So if we're gonna bring up here's what I think. I feel like weapon banners are ass, regardless of it being 75-25 or guaranteed, right? We have a Theory of Restart coming out, which doesn't have a weapon banner. We have games that already exist, like Reverse 1999, which all of the weapons in game are obtainable through clearing in-game content. Or not even in-game content, it's just the daily grind, the 2 a day for free, and you could also just use like your energy or whatever for extra runs. You can get any single character's weapon in the game, as well as refine it to max. It just takes time. So bringing that as part of the argument is kind of like, I don't know, it's just kind of weird to me, because again, all weapon banners are giga predatory. I feel like most of the income should come from skins, right? And if we want to talk, you know what, I wasn't gonna bring this up, but like, let's go towards the leak territory now, right? We have and I love this game, we have Jinshi in Wuthering Waves. She had her fireworks / like cherry blossom skin. It changed her animations. The skin changed her animations, right? That was super cool. Now we have Chang Li / Carlotta. Great. I like the skins. A lot of people are shitting on the Chang Li skin. I actually like the skin. Why are there no animation changes for this skin when they've done it before? That's so weird. That's so weird. Zenless doesn't have that either. I feel like they should do this. I feel like both companies are dropping the ball when it comes to skins. Reverse 1999 has 5 stars and 6 stars, and every single skin changes the character's animation. Sure, it's 2D versus 3D, but we're talking $1 billion companies. Billions of dollars.
That with the standard 5 stars, I think, is the perspective of, is a standard 5-star character a year into release and a standard 5-star W engine, is that enough to elevate this into like the best anniversary ever?
Yes, and I'll go more into that later.
When, let's be entirely honest here, there are better versions of all of those characters already out.
There's better versions of those characters already out. Let's go over to Wuthering Waves real quick. Is Changli not a better Encore? Expert tag +2. You know what expert means for Changli? That means you press skill and you swap off of her, and then you swap back at your convenience. That's what expert means for Changli. Not the most complicated thing in the world. Shang Liao is a better Calcharo. Is that not? Is he not a better version of Calcharo? We're acting like this is a thing that's just specifically to Zenless. Like this exists in all gachas. It's so weird.
Year into release, when thinking about these 5-star units and these 5-star W engines, they would have been a lot more helpful way earlier on in release, when there weren't as many characters on the roster, there weren't as many teams people could build, and they could actually pick and choose how they want to craft some of those early teams. Like when I think about it from that perspective, I'm like, the value of these standard 5-stars isn't as high as it was before. They're getting added now, and it's on top of just 33 limited pulls.
Okay, so we've already just negated the pull shit. Let's look at Ethan's perspective. Ethan's my boy. I fuck with Ethan heavy. I know he mentioned something about this, and I wanted to chime in before I let's go over it, and then I'll chime in.
Versus reward stuff. Now, here's my thoughts. I think it's like 30 pulls in total, and this free banner. I think the free Wenjin is dope. Free Wenjin is awesome, especially when it's not a guaranteed banner. Cool. These units, other than Lyacon, I know Lyacon is still used a lot. While this is awesome for new players, it really doesn't, I don't think it really does much for other units, right? So when I look at the Shiyu Defense clears, and I look at it right now, so we go Hugo, Asher Yao, Miyabi, Lighter, Vivian, Yanagi, Evelyn, Lyacon, right? Which Lyacon is great. And then until we get to another standard unit, we got Nicole, Bernice, Lucy, Yuan. We then get to Soldier 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 units in front of Soldier 11. One being a standard of Lyacon. And then if we go down even further, Sokaku, Jane Doe, it takes a while before you get to Rena.
Okay, let's see. Zenless Zone 0, Shiyu Defense. So this is Shiyu 4-7, and then they have the M6 clears with W engines as well, which the times don't even differ that much for M6, which is really weird to me. That's really weird. So I feel like if you have M6, if I have M6 Miyabi, I'm clearing this in 10 seconds. I don't know. So I don't feel like opening up my game, but my time with my first clear was a minute 30. So this is around the what you're seeing here. I can get way less, but I'm not trying to sweat like that. I literally don't care. This Shiyu is geared towards Hugo and Lighter. The current buff makes it so the stun window lasts longer. Lighter already does that, so he is benefiting from this so much. On top of that, both sides are ice and ether weak, so I mean, of course you're not gonna see Soldier 11 there. If you're running Soldier 11 there, you're just a Giga Chad. Sure, go for it. You can run. I mean, if that's all you have, if you're a newer player, hey, grats for clearing. You did it. Yeah, so there's that. And then obviously a lot of these 5-stars, more 5-stars in Zenless, I would say, are still being used today than now. When it comes to Wuthering Waves, you have Verena, S1, S2 Verena, exceptional pull on the standard banner. You're really not excited to see a Jian Shin. I'm sure there's dedicated Encore mains. You probably wouldn't mind getting an Encore, but that's just a small percentage of the population. Calcharo, people lose their minds when they see Calcharo, unless again you're one of those small percentage of players where you're sweating with Calcharo. The worst character I would say would probably be Grace. I would say probably Grace, but even if even if you're talking Grace, right? If you give her signature weapon, this is a battle pass weapon. So, and it requires, actually it only requires you hitting them with a anomaly, but this is a battle pass weapon. You have to buy 5 battle passes. So let's just talk about her sig, right? Fusion compiler. This weapon's gonna work insane on any character. The only, I mean, it's not even really an issue, but it scales with like pin ratio. But it's gonna buff your anomaly proficiency. You can even use this on Bernice. You can, sure. You can totally use it on Bernice. I don't believe they even like recommend it, but it is an option. It's 100. Yeah, they do recommend it. It's the third one, other than the battle pass weapon. It's her technically her second best option, right? Assuming you're free to play. Rita's weapon is kind of the same as well. Rita's weapon's insane. That's another thing I want to talk about. No character in Wuthering Waves has dedicated signatures. They don't have dedicated signatures. Every standard banner character in Zenless Zone Zero has a dedicated signature meant for them that's going to increase their performance exponentially. Let's talk about Soldier 11. The Brimstone, like, okay, obviously Evelyn's weapon is one of the most insane stat sticks I've seen in Gacha game history. It's 50% crit damage with fire res. Monstrous weapon. That's why it's like overtaking it. You won't see this too often on the Zenless tier list, but Brimstone is an incredible pickup. The only, I would say, if it didn't scale with attack and if it actually scaled with like crit damage or crit rate or something, it would probably be better than Heartstring Nocturne. But the Brimstone, right? Let's say you pulled Yuan. Guess what her second best weapon's gonna be? It's gonna be the Brimstone, and not by much. I remember Guoba had a chart that came out that said Brimstone's better than her sig, but I believe that's all been settled now. I think it's like when you have uptime on the stacks or something, it's like it actually outscales her sig, which is insane. But all these characters have dedicated weapons that scale their performance. Even if we're looking at a character like Nikomata, let's say you pulled one Nikomata, because the whole big part of the argument here is if you're a newer player, then this is great for you. But if you were a veteran, this doesn't benefit you as much. Let's even look at Nikomata, right? If you have her M0, maybe you pull her M1. You get 16% more defense ignore while attacking enemies from behind. And when the enemy is stunned, all attacks count as back attacks, right? Now we take a look at over here at her weapon, still cushion. Weapon made for her, completely made for her. Can't be used on other characters because it does give you 24% crit rate. 5% damage boost when attacking enemies from behind. You now have M1 and a 25% damage bonus when the enemy's stunned, and you don't have to be behind them. Like there's so many situations where pulling Eidolons are just going to massively increase the damage of these characters and the value of these characters. I actually don't know what M1 Colada does. Let's see. Second hit or fourth hit of her basic attack or enhanced basic attack quickly uses special attack or EX to increase the days 15%, and then you combine that with Hellfire Gears, which I just pulled from standard banner. It's going to give her a ton of off-field energy. Colada is one of the fastest stunners in the entirety of the game. People don't know this. She's one of the fastest stunners in the entirety of the game. Now the issue is, and the reason she's not used as much, is because of her energy issues, right? Her weapon helps alleviate that a little bit, making her a bit more comfortable to play. The whole thing with Rina is you want to use her skill, quick swap off of it, make sure those dolls stay out on field, and you have that res pen. Her weapon is going to give her a ton of energy. Weeping Cradle, 0.6 energy, 0.6 energy every like 0.5 seconds, right? Off-field energy increases by 0.6 attacks from the equipper, enhances the squad's damage. It's going to buff your entire team's damage 10% for 3 seconds. During this period, this is increased further by 1.7% for every 0.5 seconds, stacking up to a maximum of 10.2, and repeated triggers refresh the duration. Having energy is going to allow you to have more uptime on that buff, right? As well as like the M1, like a lot of people, especially veteran players, have lost their 50-50s to Arena, to a Coleta, to a Lycan, right? The worst character you could probably lose your 50-50 to would probably be Grace, unless you're just like Grace main. Grace mains exist just like Encore mains do. All right, yeah, I'm not gonna talk about the whole compensation being part of the anniversary rewards. That's such a stupid argument. If you're using that, like, the pulls are pretty much equal, except Zenless is giving out a standard 5-star, which is extremely useful in the current game, right? Power creep hasn't gotten to a point where Rina isn't doing anything for you. I still use Rina in Deadly Assault versus the giant robot, right? I use Yanagi, now it's Yanagi Vivian Rina. Before it was Yanagi Caesar Rina. And my Rina's M2 naturally just from playing the game. So yeah, and we saw that video. It was a bad comparison. I still stand by that. We saw that video from EO showing off a M3 Soldier 11. I'm free to play it. My Soldier 11's M2. I could pick up the M3. Who knows? But yeah, I'm probably not gonna do that. But let's talk about the Ellen buff. Also, this entire argument is stupid. It's so dumb. It's just so dumb. Like, enjoy your respective games. Let's not shit on each other, please. It's so like, oh my gosh, bro. The third move of basic attack, this is what she's getting, assuming they give her full value. Now, I don't know if they're gonna give her the full value of this. I have no idea, but this is what it says in game currently. Third move of basic attack, EX special attack, Shark Nami, dodge counter, reef rock, quick assist, and assist follow-up triggers an additional ice blade. The Getsuga Tensho, right? Dealing ice damage to a large area in front and lowering the target's defense by 30% for 15 seconds. When the icy blade is triggered, the crit damage in the move increases by 25%, stacking up to 3 times. That is monstrous. That basically gives her a nuke, as well as like amplifying her damage. Now, if we go over here, just why I hate the position Lighter's in, bro's gonna buff your ice damage, right? Not only is he buffing your ice damage, he's also decreasing the ice res by 15%. Like, Ellen's going to be trucking, I believe. Ellen Lighter was in a pretty tough position, but guess what? He happens to be every ice and fire character's best teammate currently, decreasing the res and amplifying their damage. So for those of you that skipped Hugo and picked up Lighter, your Ellen's going to be trucking like you've never seen before, using the clears to kind of dismiss the use and the value of these standard characters. I mean, let's look at Deadly Assault, Marionette, Arena's right there, the 28,000 average score. People are running Arena. 22,000 here, people are running Arena. And the guy is actually Lightning Weak, people are still running Arena. I'm telling you, that resistance penetration is a very strong stat. So do not sleep on Arena. There's a reason she's used in a lot of these teams. I might make a more dedicated video going over who you should pull for and what weapon you should try to obtain. Obviously, Brimstone's going to be exceptional. Even if you're someone who pulled Evelyn and you don't have her weapon, Brimstone's going to be extremely competitive for you. But yeah, that's all I got. Let me know your thoughts down below. Do you think the anniversary rewards are fine? Do you think we could have gotten more pulls? More so, if you're a veteran player, right? If you are a veteran player, would you have rather a couple extra pulls or a standard 5-star selector and a Wenjin selector? Let me know down in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.